everyone, it's Jessica here with another layout for the Not Just for Boys Kit Club using the Offbeat kit. And this is our Limitless kit from April 2024, and it's in the shop now. And I am just pulling out a bunch of the papers from this kit. I'm going to rip them up. So I've got a white piece of cardstock here that I'm using as my backdrop. I'm going to cover it all up, but I'm basically just using it as a base to adhere all of my other papers to. So I am tearing my favorite teal paper from this kit up and using a piece on the top and the bottom. I could have just used the whole sheet and then put some torn edges on top, but I kind of did it the hard way on this one, but I have a vision, I promise you. So I am just ripping a bunch of strips up, layering them. I'm going to fluff up the edges a little bit later, but for now I'm just ripping them up, adhering them together, and filling in that gap that I created, and I'm just going to fluff up those edges whenever I put my mixed media on there. So this is going to be a mixed media layout today. I'm going to pull out some Shimmerz and some Liquitex white gesso. So my little baby girl keeps stealing all of my tools and hiding them throughout my room. And instead of going and looking for my spatula, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to put it on here real quick. It'll dry fast, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, you don't have a spatula, don't worry about it. Just use your fingers. So that's what I did for this one. And this is the white gesso. This is not the clear gesso. I'm using the white today since I have a colored background paper. I want this to pop and kind of soften the background a little bit. So I kind of like using my fingers for something like this anyways, because you can kind of create those softer edges. So I'm just getting a pretty good coverage on that and just cleaning up my glass mat. Love these glass mats for this specific purpose because you can just make a mess of them and they just clean right up. And then I'm just sticking down that top piece so everything is all stuck together now. And I decided I wanted a little bit more pop of yellow down here, so I just ripped a little piece off of the other pattern paper. A lot of these pattern papers are $49 in market from the Wherever collection, which I love. It's pretty heavy in this kit. And then also the Cedar House collection is in this kit as well. So I've grabbed some water. I've got a couple pots of shimmer here. I'm going to start with Peacock's Plume, and I like to water down my pots a little bit because these are pretty pigmented, and I tend to put them on pretty thick. So I typically just kind of add a little bit to my page and I spritz it with water to kind of make it separate and move around and get some movement in it. And what that gesso on there does is it gives you the ability to kind of blend the colors together and move them around on your page, so your paper isn't going to suck it up right away. So you can basically add some dimension and some layers to it in different colors, blend them together, and it gives you the ability to do that. But without gesso, it's just going to kind of all soak into your paper. So I've got that Peacock's Plume color on there, and it's very bold right now. I'm going to add some splatters there, as you saw. And I'm also going to break it up a little bit by watering down some of this white gesso again and flicking that on with my paintbrush. I watered it down because it does, it's a little bit thick at first. So I water it down so that I can have a good consistency that I'm able to flick on there with my paintbrush to create those splatters. And that kind of breaks it up a little bit. And when you apply that to the wet medium, it just creates kind of like a marbly effect, and it's really pretty. And then if you put those white splatters on when it's dry, they stay really pronounced and kind of sharp looking. So I'm just spreading a little bit more color off to that one side, and then I'm going to pull out this Daffodil color. This is one of the, I think it's either Creameez or Inklings, but you have to add water to that one to activate it. So I've just added some water and kind of let that sit a little bit, and it's good to go now. It's all softened up. So I'm just adding a little bit of that yellow color. It is going to blend in with the blue and kind of turn greenish, but I don't mind that at all because I really like the way that those colors blend together. And then I've pulled out Golden Wheat as well, and I'm going to add some gold splatters because I love gold on layouts. I just think gold looks so beautiful on these layouts, and I love it. I have some Heidi Swap Color Shine in gold still, and a friend of mine sent me hers because she never used it, and it's like a gold jackpot. I hang on to it. But here's what it looks like whenever it's dried. I actually set this aside. We had some Easter festivities going on. I know, I do my layouts ahead of time. So we were doing some things for Easter. So it was a good time to create that mixed media layout because then I could leave it dry for, actually sat on my desk for a couple days drying. So you're going to see me wear a couple different sweatshirts in this whole video because I think I did this layout on the course of like 3 different days. So I'm just pulling out a scrap of some white cardstock here that I'm matting my photo with. And I've got this photo of my little guy that I'm using today when he turned 5 months old. And I've also printed out the screenshot of my Facebook post whenever I posted this. So I've got my wording all ready to go there. I was going to put it beside the photo, but I ended up at the end moving it and creating some hidden journaling behind the photo. So you'll see me put it down on the side of the page, but I don't stick anything down. I kind of left it that way for a couple days, and then I came back to it and I pulled everything off and did something completely different. So I am just layering my photo right now. I'm just using these same papers that I pulled from earlier and just kind of tearing the edges and giving those some dimension and some texture. And I am just layering all of those patterns again with my photo. And I left the branding strip on that one because I just thought it looked really cool. And I thought, I'm just going to leave that on there. And then I also used a tissue paper layer too because I just love adding tissue paper on my layouts. So I'm just going to continue layering my photo. I'm just ruffling those edges up a little bit there. There's my journaling. I kind of play around with it a little bit. I had it over here, I had it up top, and just nothing really looked right. And then kind of after I left it for a couple days, I came back and that's when I kind of tore everything up, but nothing was stuck down, so it was okay. And the title, I kind of play around with that. I really liked this title. I love the color of this. The colors in this kit are just my jam. I just absolutely love these colors, and I love that orange color. And I thought that title was just so appropriate. It just says Grow in Love, which is just perfect because this is his 5-month photo, and he was growing like a weed. So I just thought it was perfect. Here, I'm just pulling out some of these 49 and Market embellishments. These embellishment packs just come jam-packed with all kinds of goodies like little tickets and things, and it's just great for layering behind your photos. So I'm adding a whole bunch of these little bits behind my photo, and on the top I've added one of those little tabs, which I'm going to stamp a little 5 on there for 5 months. So I'm going to pull out one of my stamp sets, and I'm just continuing to layer little bits from this pack, and then I'll pull out some of the other embellishments from the Cedar House collection to add as well. But I wanted to stamp my date and get that on there. I'm just going to tuck that little guy on the bottom of my photo, just kind of get it in there, and eventually I'm going to move my title down to the bottom. I really like these little tickets, and I love to use them to layer around my photos, so I'm going to pop these up here, and I'm going to pull out some sequins in a minute. They're actually laying on my desk there, but I'm going to pull out those and add those at the very end. I'm going to add some of the trim that come as an add. I think it's an add-on to the kit. I'm not sure if it comes with the kit because I have the main kit here and the essentials kit both. So I typically just combine mine when I get them because there's so much and it all coordinates and matches. So I just combine mine and throw it all together. So then I often don't remember which pieces go with which kit, but the Limitless kit does come with a lot on its own. So if you want to do just one, just do the Limitless kit and you'll still get a lot of goodies. So here is my stamp set. I'm just pulling out a number 5 stamp, and I'm just going to stamp that on the tab that goes on the top of my photo. And then I'm just using my Deluxe Nouveau adhesive, which dries clear, to add that on there. And yeah, this is where I kind of like start disassembling this layout, and this is the 3rd day I'm coming back in. As you can see, my change of sweatshirt again, and I am actually pulling out this other little bit from 49 Market. I'm going to add my journaling right on here and kind of create a little tag that I can tuck behind my photo. So I'm using that, and I just punched a hole in it. I'm going to grab my trims at this point and add at the top and thread that through so that it looks like you can just kind of pull it out if you want. So hopefully my boys will understand that someday when they inherit all of these books, and they'll know to look under there for some hidden little treasure. So I've got my photo here. I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. I only applied adhesive on the sides and the bottom, so it'll stay put. And I forgot to glue down the ticket to my photo, so that's what I did just there. But I've only got adhesive on the sides and the bottom of my photo so that that little journaling can tuck right down in there. So I'm going to continue adding to this. I'm going to pop my title down at this point. I kind of had to play with where I wanted that to go. I love that little piece there. I'm going to add some more trims to the top of that, but I'm just going to staple this one on because that hole in that's a little bit small to get that through. So I didn't want to fuss with it. I wanted to finish this up and be done and get it in my book. So, which I'm laughing about right now because I say get it in my book. I'm typically the type of person who finishes a layout and it goes directly into my book immediately. And right now I think I have a stack accumulating, and I think there's about 10 layouts or 12 layouts laying there. And that is not like me at all. And it kind of bothers me. So I'm probably just gonna like end up doing a filing video for you guys, and you can kind of flip through my books and see where I put them and how I put them in and which books I use, things like that. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, and you guys can just file them with me. So yeah, just look for that. And here I'm just going through the rest of the embellishments. This is from the Cedar House collection. I've got this cute little tape that I'm going to use. I'm going to tuck in the side there, and I fussed with this for longer than physically necessary. I left this in, like when I glue, I don't know if I glued them down yet or not, but that butterfly at the top, when I go to glue that down, it's like really creepy. I glued the middle down, and for some odd, strange reason, the wings just seem to move on their own, and it looks like it's just closing its wings in the video, and you'll see it here in a minute when I glue it down, but it's kind of creepy and crazy. But I assure you, it's not haunted around here. Everything's all good. But I've got these butterflies, and I thought they would look really cute. See, here I'm gluing it down, and you're gonna see it moving. Look, it just closes right up. It closes its wings. Isn't that crazy? And then I kind of like hold it down, and it still closes up, but eventually it does stick down. I decided to put some little happy trails behind the butterflies with my white gel pen. And then I really love these wooden buttons that come in this kit. So I'm going to use a whole bunch of those on this layout, but I'm going to pop some thread behind them with some glue dots. And then I'm going to add some sequins. So that's about it. I am going to link the kit in the description for you guys so you can grab it from the shop. And if you do like this kit and you do want it, make sure you grab it soon because they do tend to sell out rather quickly. So once they're gone for good. So if you like it, make sure you grab it. So here I'm just finishing up, sticking down these little buttons. I'll grab some sequins and my little sequin tool and add them to my layout. And that's gonna pretty much finish this one up. So here is the finished layout. I just love how this one came together with all that shimmery goodness and all those goodies on there. And there's my little guy's feet. I just love it. So I will link the kit below for you guys if you want to grab it from the shop. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.